Welcome back. Hope y'all are having another good day. Bringing y'all some more content, y'all. So first things first, today we are going to be installing the fuel filter delete block on the 4th gen Cummins. It's a simple job to do. Like, it's not hard. It's in an awkward spot. But hopefully this video I make for y'all is going to help y'all out, guide you through the steps. Hopefully it's informative for you guys. And with that, go ahead, smash the like button. It always helps out the videos. Drop a comment, let me know what you think of the video. If you have any questions after the installation, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and get this video started. Thanks for joining. All right, y'all, so this is what we are putting on the truck today, all right? So this right here is a fuel filter delete block, all right? So with this, I got this off Amazon. This is just a knockoff one, but it works good. You can see here we have the block, and then we have 4 brand new copper crush washers. All right, these are going to replace the O-rings with the gaskets on them for the banjo bolts. You have right here your water and fuel sensor is going to connect here, or you can plug it if you're not going to run one. And then it also has an additional fit in here for return. So if you're going to run dual fuelers, so if you're going to have 2 CP3s, you can hook up the second return here, so that way you have a built-in return, which is pretty helpful. On the side here is where your factory banjo bolts are going to connect into. Got this, I'll have a link for this down below. Got it off Amazon. And yeah, this is it. A couple things though. So who is this for and not for? So this is not for somebody who has a stock application fuel system. Okay, if you're using your stock factory lift pump in the tank, this is not for you. That includes the fleece one, right? Basically, if you are relying on stock filtration filters, don't do this, because you're going to take a filter out, right? And I know you might say, well, the 4th gens have 2 filters. You know, I should be right. The one from the bed, I can't confirm it, but I've heard that that is an auxiliary filter that does not do the majority of filtering. I think, to be honest with you, I think that's a return filter. So any return fuel going back into the tank gets filtered in there. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what I've heard. Who this will be good for is if somebody's running an aftermarket lift pump with built-in filters, i.e. an Air Dog, Fast, whatever other lift pumps are out there, BD, whatever there is, any aftermarket lift pump that has built-in filters on the unit, then this will be good for you. All right, so hopefully that'll eliminate like 90% of the questions in the comments if I can use this on my truck. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to the truck and show you guys what we're working with. All right, so I'm not gonna be able to show every single little thing in here because it is tight. All right, if you want to give yourself more room to work with, definitely take out your intake manifold. That's going to give you a ton of room, and it's going to make it easier to pull your filter out of the engine bay. I'm not doing that just because I don't feel like taking it off and being lazy. But here we go. So down there, that is your factory fuel filter housing, right? Now, if you look on the left, you see 2 bolts, those 2 10mm bolts, all right? So this unit is being held on by 4 10mm bolts. This is a 2014 truck, so it has 4, I think the 10s and 12s have 3. There's 2 on this side, and then there's 2 on the back side in the same location, okay? All that does is that removes the filter bowl from the engine block, okay? The actual piece that has the banjo bolts on it is, let's see if I can get the right angle. It's on the back part, back there. It's hard to see it. Once I take the filter bowl out, you guys are going to see it. It's going to make all the more sense. So what you want to go ahead and start off by doing, go ahead and disconnect your electrical connectors. You can see right there, I already disconnected the one for, not that brown one, but let's see if I can get in there. Not that guy, but that guy there, right there. Go ahead and disconnect that. That's your water and fuel sensor. And then there's another connector on the back side, right there with that blue tab sticking out. Go ahead and disconnect that as well. Those are the only 2 electrical connectors. If you want, you can go ahead and drain your filter bowl with the little yellow knob there. My wiring harness is in the way. You can go ahead and drain your fuel, any residual fuel, out of the bowl from there. Once you do that, you're gonna wanna go ahead and disconnect the fuel line that is on the back side. Let's see if I can show you. So that's the connector, and then there is a fuel connector right there. Now, again, if you're running an aftermarket pump, you don't have to worry about it. it does nothing. It does nothing. So go ahead and get that disconnected. As you can see, that is not a nice spot to be in. But it has to get disconnected. It's not going to be used again, so zip tie it out of the way, whatever you want to do with it. Get that one undone. And then there's one on the front side. Actually, no, there isn't. But you can also see, oh, there's only one bolt back here. Sorry guys about the camera. So that's the other 10 mil bolt right there. So there's only 3 then. I lied. I said 4 earlier. Sorry about that. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect that fuel line, and then I'm going to take off the 3 10 mil bolts holding the fuel bowl to the bracket, get that out of the way, and then be able to show you guys some progress, okay? All right, y'all, figured I'll show y'all real quick. So I'm about to take the last bolt out for the filter bowl housing. Me personally, the best way for me, honestly, was coming through the side fender here. I just got, what, 3-inch, 6-inch, 12-inch, I don't know. I just basically got enough extensions to where I could reach it from the wheel. And it was actually easy. It's easy, man. Straight shot. You get on there straight. The last bolt, I'm not even showing y'all what I'm talking about. You see right there, that top bolt's out. And then fuel line's in the way. But, god dang it. It's hard to get in there and show y'all. But anyways, the bottom left front bolt, I'm gonna use a swivel fitting, get on there, and then we're gonna get that bowl out of the way, all right? All right, oh, that's some fuel coming out. All right, so the canister is out. This is what it looks like. That line there was the original fuel line going to the CP3. All we gotta do is take the water and fuel sensor off, and yeah, now I can show you guys what I wanted to really show y'all. Okay, so, man, I was dripping fuel. Whoop. All right, actually, it'll be easier to show y'all from the bottom. So now that we got that out the way, that is what we're trying to get to, y'all, right there. So if you look, you can see on the left side is a banjo fitting with that connector there, and then on the other side there is another one, but my camera doesn't want to focus on it, but you can see what I'm talking about. All right, that is your return fuel rail right there. So this is what we're trying to get to. Now, same thing, there's 3 10 mil bolts that hold that plate on. It holds the plate on. You can see the plate right there. Holds it on to the engine block, and you can actually see. Actually, no, you can't. I was gonna say I thought you could see the bolts holding it on, but there's 2 10 mil bolts up top. You can see one of them from here. So you got 1 10 mil bolt there, and then one right there on the other side where that same black line, that black wire is in the way. All right. I want to go ahead and get that bad Larry out of there. Yeah, let's see if I can get up in there. Oh no, the camera said F me. Okay, but yeah, so we'll get that out, and we will, there it is, get that plate out, and then we'll, from there, you want to go ahead. So first thing to do now, you got the feed and the return line from you want to disconnect the fuel line, so that clip right there, and then there's one I already showed y'all from the bottom side. There's one going into it on the left. Get those lines disconnected, unbolt that block, that plate from there, from the firewall, 3 10 mil bolts holding it, and then you can pull her out. All right, so you can see right there, I went ahead and removed the banjo bolt on the forward side, and the banjo bolt on the rear side are removed. So now I also went ahead and took out the bottom bolt holding that plate on. So all we have left are these 2 10 mils right there and right there. Take those 2 out, and that whole housing will come out. Okay, here, those are the fittings. This is the front side, that's the rear side. These are the old O-rings on there. I'm gonna swap those out. I used, because it's all I had, I used a ratchet in 11/16. It's not the exact size, but it gets on there good. And because of it's so pressed up against the motor, like tucked in there, A ratcheting wrench is your best bet for taking those fittings off. They're not on super tight too, so you know you can use a wrench. Getting a ratchet and a socket in there, being able to ratchet it is really impractical. Definitely want to get a ratcheting wrench. That's going to be your best friend for getting those two fittings off. And again, like I said, they're not tight. Once you break it loose, you can pretty much spin them off hand free. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take those last two bolts out. Take those last two out and then take her out. All right, now pull it out. This is it. This is what took me 50 minutes to take out. And that's me taking my sweet time. So what I was gonna say, yeah, this is it. So all this stuff down here, from pretty much this zip tie here down, is just there. Doesn't do anything but hold the filter, that filter on. So now that we have this out, it is time to grab the new block, and it's going to be interesting trying to get those banjo bolts to line up and install that sucker. But we will get the new block hard mounted to the engine block. You can see the holes there. Yeah, we're gonna just put the block in. Oh, we got to transfer the sensor, water and fuel sensor. That's right. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. If you're looking at the block, it will sit like this, obviously, because your sensors are on the bottom in port. So what we'll go ahead and do is I'm gonna unscrew this. And now your water sensor on your stock filter housing, it shouldn't be super tight. I actually just grabbed mine by hand, or used my hand, and I was able to spin it off. So it shouldn't be on there super tight. So we'll take that out like that. I think I'll just put just a little bit of oil on there just to give it some lubrication. Usually when I'm doing fuel components, I like to use PET, but I can't find mine. So you just spread it on there by hand. You do not have to go crazy tightening this because it's plastic. You basically want that, you want it flush, right? Or until you feel that sharp rise of torque. So I'm just going to use my hands and tighten this because I don't try to get that sucker. And if obviously if it's leaking, then you just tighten it just a little bit more until, you know, she's good. So right there, I'm good with that. I gave it just a little snug with the wrench, but I basically have the connector parallel with the block, which is cool with me. Sucks that it's facing inboard, but whatever. Okay, so we just transferred this over. Now we're gonna go ahead and use the original block 10 mil bolts that we used to put them on. We're gonna use those and mount this to the engine. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna try a little trick, see if it works. I will let you know if it's successful or not. I think it will though. I think it will. All I did was I grabbed 2 of the crush washers and I placed them on over the holes, and I just a little bit of super glue. All it's doing is holding it in place. Super glue is not sealing it, none of that stuff. It's just holding it in place, because getting these in when it's way in there, it's very difficult. I haven't tried, but I know it will be. So the intention is when I mount this block to the wall, these will be in place, and then I can come with the fittings and just line up the banjo line, put the fitting through, run them in. Once the fitting is through, it doesn't matter. It's gonna crush these. These are crushed copper washers, so basically they crush to this guy to create a tight seal, which is gonna do this. I barely put just a little dab just to hold it in place. I'm not trying to seal it permanently, but I think this will work. So if it does, make sure you shout your boy out for a plug. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. All right. Had to took a little ingenuity, but it worked. It's mounted up to the engine block. As you can see, I reused the same 10 mil bolts. They're all loose. Everything's still loose right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tighten the banjo fittings first. That way they're tight and centered, and then from there, however the block desires to sit, I'll just snug down the 10 mil bolts. So I kind of like that they did that. They made the holes bigger on the block for the 10 mil bolts. They made them bigger so that way you have a little bit of wiggle room. So if it needs to, you know, shift up or down or whatever way, which is kind of cool, because they actually helped me out a lot. The super glue, the crush washers to the block also worked. That right there saved me a lot of time, not having to fight to get those inboard crush washers installed, because that right there is probably the crappiest part of doing this entire job. All right, so we got everything hooked back up. It's a little stretch getting the water and fuel sensor in there, but I just had to just mess with the wire and harness a little bit just to get a little slack out of it, just enough to plug it in. But everything's all buttoned up. I tightened the banjo fittings with the ratchet and 13/16 wrench. I got them pretty snug. I didn't want to go all the way. I didn't want to go too crazy. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start the truck and basically do a leak check to make sure it's not leaking. If it's not leaking, then I'm good with it. I just don't want to over tighten them and strip out the block, or, you know, snap off the banjo fittings or anything stupid like that happening. So all in all, we sitting all right. All right, she's running. Oh, no leaks. I know the harness is in the way, so I'll put the harness back. But she ain't leaking. Nice and dry. Coming down the block. So I will chop this up as successful. I'll chop this up as a good job. I'll leave the wheel liner out for just a couple days driving it, you know, just in case, because I hate taking these liners out on these trucks with the things on it. It's a hassle. So I'm gonna leave it like this. I'll keep my eye on it just to make sure it don't leak within the next couple days driving it. And then yeah, that's it. That's it. Look at this beautiful engine. It's about to get a world transformation soon. I went ahead in there. You probably can't see it, but I swapped out the harness for my fan clutch, because I changed my fan clutch last year, and I didn't know it came with a brand new harness until after I put the new clutch on, and then I saw it in the box. I was like, what the heck? So I just finally swapped that out. I don't know if it's really gonna make a difference, but that, you guys, is gonna wrap it up for this video. I was trying to open up the fuel filter, but now that it's off the truck, and on top of that, I don't have the right size socket. I can't open up the filter. I wanted to open it up just so I can look at the fuel filter and see what it looks like, just because I don't know. Based off of how tight it is, I want to say that sucker has not gotten open in a long time, and it's really easy to fool the driver thinking the filter is fine, because you can just go into the settings and reset filter life. You would never know unless you physically saw it change. That filter wasn't being used on the truck though, because I do have an AirDog 5G 220 GPH, so all my filtration was coming from AirDog since I put that lift pump on. This mod is just to clear up space, clean it up. I had that filter block delete sitting in my garage for I bought that March of last year, so I've had it sitting in the garage for a year, just sitting in here, just waiting to get thrown on. I might have had it before that, to be honest with you, because I think I did the AirDog in December, so actually, yeah, I probably had it since December of 21. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, you guys. Hopefully it helped you out. Hopefully it was informative. You got something out of it. Again, I will have a link below for the filter block. Works good to me. Doesn't leak. Mounts up clean. Everything was fine with it. 45 bucks. So let me know. All right. I did a parts reveal on the last two videos. I uploaded. If you didn't watch those last two, check them out. But long story short, we got tires. We got a turbo there, and then we got a turbo blanket. We have compound piping kit, add a turbo kit on the way from Black Market Performance. We have a 475 on the way from MDC diesel. So we got a lot of stuff going on. We got transmission parts that came in yesterday. Torque converter should be here Wednesday. So when that gets here, that'll be a nice little unboxing. So stick around. Probably gonna finish the rear brakes on the truck Wednesday, this coming Wednesday of the week. So stick around, subscribe, bell notification, all that good stuff. Make sure you drop a like button before you head out, and thank you guys so much for joining this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to hear what you guys got to say. Drop those comments down below and just flood the comment section. All right, until next time, you guys take care, be safe, peace out, and I will see y'all soon.